welcome back to Geelong Business Bites. Today we're filming our episode 3 with the AWA Alliance CEO, Gavin Heathcote. And Gavin, welcome to our session. You're new to the job, only been in it for the last 6 weeks, so it's you've come in pretty hard, meeting with us, of course. Probably for us here to probably get an understanding of what's your background and where you've been over the many years.
Sure, Danny, thanks. It's a real pleasure to be here. So a long career in banking, but also in the community not-for-profit sector. And yeah, delighted to have been asked to come to AWA as the new CEO, taking over from Graham Scannell, who'd been here for almost 30 years.
Right.
And so yeah, very, very excited to bring my banking experience to my hometown in Geelong, where I live. And it's a wonderful opportunity to serve our community through this role.
So you were born and bred in Geelong?
No, I wasn't. I was actually born in WA and, and I've worked around all over Australia and a little bit in the Pacific as well. And but settled in Geelong about 8 years ago and have been looking for a role that gave me an opportunity to lead an organisation in what's now the hometown for our family.
No, good. So how many, in terms of kids, how many kids you got?
Yeah, so 2 kids.
2 kids?
I've got a daughter who's at Monash Uni in Melbourne and a son doing year 11.
Oh, at which school?
Christian College.
Beautiful. Yeah, very good school. Very good school. So within that 6 weeks, if you found out a little bit of history about the journey of commencing way back in 1969 to where you are today, and probably a good opportunity to tell us about that as well.
Yeah. So the Point Henry Credit Cooperative was established in 1969 for the employees at Alcoa at Point Henry, and what is now the AWA Alliance Bank had our office at Point Henry. Very small staff there looking after all of the staff on site at the smelter. And we also have other branches wherever the Alcoa plants are. So at Portland, at the Portland Aluminium Smelter in Portland, and also in Mandurah in Western Australia, servicing the Alcoa locations there.
Beautiful. Obviously, the initial part of the banking side of things was helping the staff come along and just taking a deduction out of their salaries and so forth. And now what you've grown the business into is a business that's generating. How big are you in terms of loans and so forth?
Yeah, so our loan portfolio has grown from very small now into the hundreds of millions. And but one of the interesting things about the ethos of our organisation is that we're here for our members. So our customers are our members, and our members are our shareholders.
Yes.
So we're a mutual bank, which means our accountability is to our members and giving them the best, the best. Value in terms of their banking products and services. And what we haven't lost in our DNA is that real ethos around, we know you and we understand you and we're actually here to serve you and we act in your best interest. And so that, whilst the organisation may have grown and evolved, that DNA has never left us.
It's not changed.
And there's a very strong desire for that to be our differentiator in a modern banking world. And
I noticed that you're heavily involved in local charities, which is a fantastic thing to do, and obviously the states that you're involved in.
Yeah, so AWA entered into an alliance arrangement back in 2015 with a number of other mutual banks across the country, and what that enabled us to do was to really sort of let go of some of the administrative burdens of banking compliance through our partnership agreement. And it's enabled us to free up our capital to be able to create social impact investing, to be able to contribute through philanthropy partnerships in the regions in which we operate. Yep. And so in our 3 locations of Geelong, Portland and Mandurah, we have community partnerships in play. Here in Geelong, we partner with Give Where You Live Foundation and Geelong Connected Communities. Yes. And through them, not only through financial support, through our donations, but joint activities to really invest in the growth and the prosperity of our community. Yep. In Portland, our partnership is with United Way Glenelg, and in WA it's with Peach, which is affiliated with Alcoa. And that's been something that we've been immensely proud of, being able to grow and develop that over the last 6 years. And it's certainly part of our strategy in the future to be able to continue to nurture and invest in that part of our business.
Just to talk about your history a little bit, I get a little bit intrigued as, you're formed from an Alcoa base, from all of the staff and so forth. Talk to me a little bit about, obviously, when Alcoa ceased out here in Geelong and what that did to you. Did it affect your client base, or did it have no effect, or what happened as a result of that?
Yeah, it was, and back to that D&O, we're here to serve our members. And so at that time, it was very difficult for them. And so the role that we played was really to be there for them and to act in their best interests.
Yep.
And through that process, we retained a significant number of those members as our customers as they transition from their Alcoa employment to whatever that might have been next for them.
Yep.
And I'm really pleased to say that core membership base today is really the backbone of our business in terms of performance.
Yep.
We continue to serve them, and now we're into the next generation. So
the kids are
we're
coming
helping
through,
out the kids, and we're doing home loans for their kids and for their families and friends and relatives. And because of that, that loyalty and the relationship of our business model, it's now giving us the platform to be able to grow our business. Financially, we recovered from the downturn of, because people were receiving payouts and paying off their loans and the like. Financially, we recovered from that reasonably quickly over a couple of year period.
Yep.
So then we were able to actually reset our momentum and keep going because we stayed with our people and our members, and we moved with them as they move forward.
Yeah. I think it's, from a banking experience myself in terms of walking into a bank, you still need that personal touch, So where are you going with online activities and so forth? And are you shifting with all the major banks on, over the journey they've closed branches down and they've pushed people to online activities? Where do you guys sit with your online?
Yeah, I think the service and the acting in our members' best interests is a really big differentiator for us.
Yeah.
And a modern bank with old-fashioned values is a little bit cliche, but it's actually true.
Yeah.
And so for our members that walk in here, we know them and they know us.
Yes.
And you don't have to repeat yourself. You don't have to explain your situation. That knowledge is within our organisation. And we've got a number of staff that have been with us for 15, 20, 30 years who have been on that journey with our members.
As well,
And because of those relationships, they introduce new members to us and we give them what we believe is a differentiated experience. But we're still a bank, and we're a modern bank, so we offer all of the products and services that you would expect from a mainstream bank. So, all credit cards, app, mobile, internet banking, all of your Bellarine products are all the same as what you expect, but you've got some of the old-fashioned values that come from banking relationships that we believe when we act in our members' best interest that those things
they're still important, aren't they?
Yeah, and you'd find that in Adroit's business as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's relationships that underpin trust and then how you move forward together.
No, definitely right, so just in terms of the business, where do you advertise? You're walking along the street and people think about the top 5 or top 4 plus your Bendigo Bank. How do you, what's your point of difference apart from that as well? Is there something that I look forward to see, there's AWA, I'll go over there and give them a go?
Yeah, I think one of the opportunities for us, particularly as we've evolved, is to look at what is our external strategy. And I think like all organisations, you are assessing what options you've got around going to market and putting your brand out there.
Yep.
We have relied heavily and continue at the moment to rely heavily on word of mouth referral.
Yeah.
It's actually our most effective source of business.
It is.
You need to really understand where your value creation comes from in any business, and for us, that's something that we recognise is important. And so ensuring that we're able to generate business momentum through that has certainly been how we've grown the business to date. But I think we've got an opportunity to assess how we might look to do that differently into the future.
Moving forward.
Provided
that's your job.
we don't move away from our DNA.
Our core activities,
Yeah, but it is. Then that's the exciting opportunity for coming in.
So Gavin, I noticed that when the business first started up, it was all around personal loans, just the small little personal loans and that. And then obviously the business then became heavily populated towards home loans and so forth. Have you ventured further that now, these many years later into the business side?
Yeah, so all of the products and services you'd expect from a large bank, we offer.
Yep.
So for your transaction account saving, all of the digitally enabled products, so the ability to be able to manage your money via our app or internet banking,
Yes.
we offer. For individuals, all of your normal borrowing needs around personal loan, car loan, home loan, investment loans.
Yes.
And for our business customers, the ability to be able to have all of your business banking transactions and borrowing needs with us as well, all complement that. So a lot of our customers are small business owners.
Yes.
And they don't differentiate their business and
No, they
personal
don't.
borrowings.
No.
And you'd
Well,
see
I don't either.
as well.
No.
And so we're interested in looking after our member. And
Yes.
so by doing that, it's all of their needs.
Yes.
So if you're a chippy, you've got business needs, but you've also got personal needs. And so we're here to meet all of those needs and service all of those.
How many branches have you got?
So we've got 3.
3. Just that's it. Yep.
Yep. So here in Geelong in Mallop Street,
Yep.
so in the main street. In Portland, we're on site.
Yes.
Out at the Portland aluminium smelter there, and in Mandurah we're in town as well.
In town as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So moving on, Gavin, where do you see your strengths in growing the business and your partnerships locally?
Yeah, we've got some really fantastic momentum. So a couple of years ago, we started to look at how we could partner with community organisations in terms of playing a role in helping them grow,
Yes.
where we could achieve social impact. So helping organisations or clubs or associations with capital projects, so
Yep.
infrastructure, and could we play a role there in financing or supporting them, but in a way in which encouraging them to tap into their membership base to
Yeah.
come and bank with us. And so the arrangements that we've got in place with our partners are that we provide financial support for them by way of social impact lending to purchase new club rooms or facilities,
Right.
to upgrade lights at sporting clubs or facilities, maintenance, change rooms and the
Yep.
like,
Yep.
to help these clubs grow for their capacity, particularly sporting clubs where we're seeing a lot of increase in participation from
Yeah.
women. So that has a lot of challenges around capacity. And those clubs' ambition is to serve their communities and build capacity and increase participation and these places of community hub.
Yeah.
And we really see that we can play a role in supporting them accelerate the implementation of that infrastructure. So we've set up a number of partnership agreements in place whereby we share our revenue from business generated from that relationship.
Yes, right.
So, for example, a partner who's a sporting organisation would refer their members to us, and in our value proposition of we don't recommend you come and bank with us unless we can demonstrate that you're better off.
Yes, yeah.
And we're pretty confident that we can do that.
Yeah.
And in those people joining us as members, we share the revenue back to the sporting club.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that money's then applied in paying off the loan.
Yeah.
That would help them with in terms of their infrastructure.
It's a bit like a referral process, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we do a very similar thing at Adroit with a lot of our partners, with a lot of the sporting clubs, is the referral point comes through, and we don't mean to take you away from your existing relationships, but if you don't have one, why not deal with us? And then the sporting club itself has a benefit for it. So it's a fantastic opportunity. So who are some of the local partners?
Yeah, so here in Geelong, we have a partnership with Give Where You Live.
Yep.
We also have the Ocean Grove Surf Lifesaving Club.
Yes.
The Geelong United Basketball.
Yeah.
And so with that one, we have naming rights out
I
at
do
the
see
stadium.
that actually. I do see that. Yeah.
So the AWA Stadium is a fantastic showpiece for the work we're doing.
I must admit, I go down to my golf course and I drive through to the coffee shop there, and I always see the AWA building, a basketball stadium there. Because you haven't been on long for that, though, have you? That's only been the last couple of years.
So yes, yeah, and so and the stadium there is incredibly busy. You go in there, and so for us, we're excited about what that partnership can bring for us. And our most successful partnership has been the East Belmont Cricket Club.
Oh, really?
And we've been able to play an important role in their growth.
Yep.
And they've been able to play a really important role in our growth.
That's good.
And so we're excited about the potential for us to be able to increase the number of partnerships and the impact of those partnerships, because it's a win-win-win scenario in that their members get a better outcome in terms of their banking. We save them money and we build a genuine
better facilities
relationship. The club gets better facilities and infrastructure, and the revenue that we generate from that enables us to grow. And the community component of that is that that then also enables us to do more with our community partners. So here in Geelong, that's Give Where You Live in Geelong Connected Communities.
There's no doubt about it. You know, a growth of a business is about what you put back in the community as well. I think there's high values in it, and it's well done for doing that. It's great.
No doubt. And for us, it's about how can we maximise the benefit for our members and for the community. We're not chasing a profit or a total shareholder return outcome. We're chasing for that maximum impact for those two critical people.
Beautiful. So Gavin, you've been involved now with Adroit Insurance and Risk for the last 12 months. Tell us a little bit how that evolved.
Yeah, so we're a signatory to the Grow Compact here in Geelong, and that's about ensuring that local businesses support local businesses. And so when the opportunity for us to review our insurances came up, it made sense that we walk the talk around what it is that we signed up for. And so through relationships that we've got in Geelong, we identified Adroit as a possible partner for us to work with around our insurances. And what we found when Graham, my predecessor, engaged in that was not only on the business front, but on a philosophical front. And so the work that you're doing with the community and the philosophies around the role that Adroit plays in the community are very aligned to AWA. And so, we found ourselves feeling really, really comfortable that the motivation around why we're here and what we're trying to achieve extends beyond the business outcomes. And so it made sense for us to source an insurance provider that was local, that had philosophical alignment with us as an organisation. So
Gavin, you deal with one of our senior risk advisors, Phil Hatch, at Adroit Insurance and Risk. And Phil, his job is predominantly to come over and sit with you and work out what your needs are from a business point of view. So just talk to us a little bit about where you see a risk factor to your business.
Yes, so we're probably not dissimilar to your business in terms of providing, you have a client base whose information you need to protect, you have your reputation that you need to protect, but you've also got your operational components around your people, premises and the like. One of the great things about your proposition is that we can sit down and have a risk-based conversation around understanding what are the risks for us. And as a bank, that's evolved over the years. 100 years ago, it was all about a cash and a safe.
Yeah, that's right.
Through the 90s, it was all about credit risk exposure and protecting the bank from its credit losses. Over the last 10 years or so, it's been more operational risk around our customers being susceptible to fraud and identity takeover. And I think probably in the last 4 or 5 years, there's been the overlay of reputational risk for the bank or for all banks. We all understand the Royal Commission and the expectations around banks and their conduct. So the risk profile for banks is evolving. And then we've got the always increasing technology risks around protecting our data and cyber security and all the safeguarding for our members around that. So it's great to be able to sit down with Phil and work through all of our risk components, so our traditional buildings, contents, operational components, and getting the business cover in place for that. Then thinking about our people, our staff and our members when they're on site and our safety obligations. Then more into the liability plate. So our statutory obligations, our directors and officers cover, our performance and bond cover are all they're all quite unique elements of cover, but to be able to package that up in a way that gives us a really sensible risk management approach around our risk, and to be able to work through what that looks like with our providers and how we balance our premiums and excesses. To be able to sit down locally and do that face to face when we can, COVID permitting, to be able to work through that and it really feels like a partnership where we're getting solutions that are based on our needs.
We get back to that, it's important to have that strong relationship with someone that you can actually trust, and you can be prepared to pick up the phone and he'll have an immediate answer for you, which is really good.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want. And sometimes banks and insurance aren't the most sexiest things around there, but they're actually really important to people.
They are.
And being there at the moments that matter the most is the key bit.
Okay, absolutely.
So it's So a great engagement around a renewal or the sales process is fantastic. But actually, when you really need them, it's the relationship that you rely on to be able to get the help when you need it.
That's right.
And that's fundamental in the nature of both of our businesses.
Yeah, exactly. Gavin, thank you for today. It's probably been a little bit intriguing and interesting. As we said earlier in the piece, you think about the 4 top banks. So it's fantastic that a bank like yours has the services that we can come to. And just not that, it's about what you put back into the community too, which is really appealing to a lot of people. So we'd like to thank you for taking your time today. It's been interesting for all of us, and thank you.
Thanks very much. What we've talked about today is about, we're different to the big banks.
Yes.
Our customers are our members who are our shareholders, and we're here to serve them and act in their best interests. And so we're really confident that we think that we can save money for people that come and bank to us. And in fact, if we can't save you money, we won't recommend that you come to us.
Yes.
And so, but in doing so, then you know that that by being a member and customer of AWA, that those monies are going back into the community. And so if anybody likes what they've heard today, I encourage you to go to our website, give us a call, and we promise that we'll give you a great experience.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Gavin. Well, that wraps it up for another episode. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel noted below, and over and out.